Hey, Fight Week family, Fight Week Show fans, thank you for joining us. And we got back, Mr. Jaco Du Plessis. How are you doing, my bro?
What's up, man? I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
This is mega fantastic to have you back. It's You've had an incredible journey since we last spoke to you. Um, how's life been treating you since the last time you've been on the show?
Awesome, man. Thanks. I'm glad to be back. Thanks that you guys are willing to have me again.
Yeah, man.
Life's been great, man. Yeah, not much has changed. Just same old stuff. Work hard every day. Get to it.
Seems to, like you said, not much has changed. Working hard every time. We see all your workouts and stuff. And let me tell you something else that hasn't changed. Yako's still winning. That's the most important part. Yako still winning, is on the side of the W. And I wanna first of all, I wanna congratulate you on such a fantastic fight. I bought the fight. I remember speaking to you before you went on the fight. I bought the fight. I was in love with the card, and especially the co-main event. For me, for my money, that was fight of the night. How did you feel about that fight? Going in, the build up, the pressure of the opponent. Tell us how you felt.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate the support. Yeah, so going into the fight, I felt a little bit of overwhelming feelings. I had a very tough opponent that I had to face, and I've been following him since his amateur days. Been checking him out. Thought that we will fight when we were still amateurs, but that never panned out. So when I finally got the fight to fight him on the pro card or on the pro scene,
Right.
I really, I don't. There was that small voice in your head or that little stress feeling each time you think about it. It's a tough challenge, and yes, after the weigh-ins, that feeling just intensified even more because yeah, he's quite a beast, man. So yeah, I was overwhelmed.
So staying on the topic of your last fight, Diego Bandu is a fighter that's undefeated. He was undefeated coming into this fight. Very, very confident guy. I even heard from the commentators, they were talking about all the scars on his body and how we used to do this machete sort of fighting on the streets and stuff. And I thought to myself, we got Jaco right here in front of him, and the way you came back and took the fight away from him was incredible. Your leg kicks, the tactics to go into the leg kicks, it was genius from your corner. I could hear your corner. They were all over you, telling you, what I mean, please tell us, your mindset while you was in there to transition and take and soak in your corner's information and go out there and implement that information that your corner was giving you. And shout out to Dricus and CIT Performance, by the way. They were awesome on the night in your corner. Please tell us.
Awesome, thanks, man. Yeah, so going into the fight, my coach instantly said we're gonna kill the legs because I have big legs, so and he has small legs. So, and the only way for him to generate that much power to get all of the knockouts that he has behind his name is to plant his feet and throw with everything he has.
Right.
So the plan was to chop down the legs. My coach told me he wants at least 20 leg kicks in the first round. That didn't happen, but I tried. So yeah, they just kept telling me go for the leg kicks, go for the leg kicks, and yeah, it took away his power at the end. And yeah, between rounds, I really can't recall or remember what my corner was saying. It was in the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it worked. So I'm very glad.
Yeah, man. Fantastic corner you had on your side on the night. And when I was watching the fight, I I, I was so happy. Like You know what I mean? I was so happy with your performance. I was so happy with your display. I was so happy with the way you came back from the first round, taking the corner's advice. As you said, because of the adrenaline rush and being in the moment, you can't even recall what they were saying, but your corner was giving you good advice for you to go out there and get the job done in the second and the third. But listen to your post-fight interview in the octagon. Even you didn't seem happy with your performance, and you felt you wanted to give the fans more. You felt you wanted to give the fans a finish. But I know as a fight fan, it's easy for me to sit home and say I was happy with your performance, but with yourself, what could, in your mind, what could you have done better? Because you took his O away from him, and if it was that easy to do, a lot of people would have done it before you got there. Please tell us what you think you could have done better, and how you felt about taking his O away from him.
Yeah, man. So I'm still not happy with myself. I know it was a okayish performance from my side. I felt I could have done a lot more. I've rewatched the fight probably like 100 times already, and each time I rewatch it, I see new openings, new stuff that if I just put on the pressure, I could have finished him. So yeah, I'm disappointed in myself because I always told myself that I'll never be a decision fighter. You know, I finished fights straight from my first amateur fight up until my previous fight. And I told myself I never want to be in the situation where the judges should make the call of who wins the fight. And unfortunately, that happened. And I was disappointed in myself because I know that I could have given a little bit extra in the tank, could have taken a little bit extra out and just hunt for that finish. So that is what made me quite disappointed. There's a lot of room to improve.
Yeah.
So yeah, but in the same sense, I'm also happy that I got tested like that. It was my first 3-round war, and it was quite a war. Tough opponent. So yeah, I'm very happy with the performance bonus. It was a bittersweet victory because I would have loved to finish, give the fans a finish. Even in the third round with just 1 second on the clock left, if I just could get that finish, I would have been so much happier. But I'm happy, but I still hear it till this day from my coaches and teammates, but especially coach. I could have finished him. We have to work harder. So yeah, I'm still taking shots for that one. So the next one will definitely be a finish. I'll work so hard to get that finish.
Fantastic. I mean, that's the way that you're describing what your coach and the team as a whole, they're still peppering you in the gym for that one. It all boils down and seem to me from outside looking in that that's just elite mentality. It's never good enough. Even if you got the finish, there's probably still be things that you will still thought you could have done better, even if you got the finish. And that's how you have to be in the sport, sport that you're in. What was the hardest aspect of this latest win that you had? What did you learn from it? Coming out of it and taking, perhaps taking into the next fight, because like you said, this is the first time that that you've really been tested like this.
Yeah. So going back to the fight, I remember mid-fight that I took a few punches and I was thinking to myself, man, this guy hits hard. If he clips me now, he can put me away. So I shouldn't get hit by this guy. And rewatching the fight, from my personal opinion, I feel that I should just open the taps more when I fight. I shouldn't, like they always say, big risk, big reward. So I should stop giving the opponent so much respect and do my own game plan, stop focusing on theirs. And, because everyone says it and everyone keeps telling me how talented I am. But if you don't believe it yourself, in the end, everyone around you can believe it. But then in the end, it's you that should go out there and perform. So definitely more self-belief and push the pace a little harder. Because I know I can. So yes, that is definitely what I took from this fight.
Fabulous. I mean, as you stated the last time you was on this show, you said you don't like to focus on your undefeated streak, your undefeated record. To you, it doesn't really matter. But at the same time, what does it feel like taking somebody's undefeated record away from them? How does that feel? Does it taste good, or what's that like?
Yeah, man, I'd say it feels good. But like I said, it's a bittersweet victory. So for me, it doesn't feel like a win. It doesn't feel like I took away his loss. If I
Mm,
finished him, I would have counted it as I took
right.
away his O. But for now, it doesn't feel like it. So yeah,
Hopefully, in your next bout, because now this fight, I would almost say, guarantees you number one contender for the middleweight title, right?
yes.
Yeah, and that's got to be a good thing for you, for the gym, for everybody that got you to the Diego Bandu's fight. That's got to be a huge thing, and it's a huge step closer to your mission, to your one goal, uh, of reaching the middleweight strap.
Well, you definitely on the spot there. I don't think I'd love to fight another fight, maybe two fights before I go for the title. I need that
Okay,
experience in the cage.
right, right.
But whatever they offer me, my team believes in me, and if they believe in me, I can also believe in me. So if the title opportunity comes, I'd be glad to take it. Um, but as I said, I'd like to build up more experience before I go
You
there.
like a couple more
And
tune up.
then, yes, just for a curveball to your direction,
Yeah,
when I go for that, when I go for that middleweight strap,
yeah.
I see you also interviewed Luke Michael, the current middleweight
Yes,
champ.
that's correct.
So, on who's your money gonna be?
Oh, who's my money gonna be on? You're throwing us the curveball now. You know, basically watching on how both of you perform, because even him, when I spoke to him, um, he said winning the title, that wasn't even his best performance, and it was very very open with it. He was very
Mm.
very candid with himself, very truth to how he felt about his own performance, and him going back to EFC 100 is him wanting to prove to everybody else and himself, especially himself, uh, that is really deserving of the title. So, in answer to your question, if that did come about, um, I'll say that's a big curve. I'll say wait and see. I'll say wait and see, Jaco. I'll say
Okay,
I'll
that's
say wait
cool.
and see. You got me, though. You got me, though. You got me, man. I like it. I like it. I like it. You got me, man. You
Awesome,
got me. I'll say wait and see.
awesome.
But I like the mentality and the way both of you are approaching it, because as far as both of you concerned, you're even though they say you're only as good as your last performance, it's not good enough for you. You don't think it's
Yes,
good enough,
yes,
and you want to be better, and so does he. And to me, as a fight fan, it just makes for a fantastic showing if that was to be the case. But
mm.
this is MMA. It might not even be there by the time you get there, as you know
Yeah,
what
yeah, for sure.
MMA is like. So
Yes,
like I said, it's something we'll have to wait and see. But 100%, and the way that both of you come across and present yourself, you always want to be the best at all times, and that's a fantastic thing to witness as a fight fan, as a fan of mixed martial arts. Uh, Going to the next question, you've now won pro fights both by finishes and decisions, and we know, as you just said, you don't even like going to decisions. But how does the way you finish a fight affect your overall like game and strategy? Because sometimes finishing a fight, maybe within the first minute of a fight, you might not everything that you've worked for all 3 4 months worth of camp, you don't even get to show them if you finish the fight in like a minute. But you also mentioned earlier on, maybe the last minute or the last 10 seconds of the third round against Bandu, you would have loved if you could have got a finish there, and that would showcase. How does that, how does something like that affect your whole strategy and game plan? When you finish a fight.
Yeah, so it definitely affects it because if you try to finish a guy, you completely abandon the game plan and you go for what you think in the moment is the right thing to do.
Mm,
And it can either pay off great and you can finish the fight, or you can exert a lot of energy and you would struggle to enforce your game plan without the energy that you just expanded to try and get that finish. So, and that's usually when you also get knocked out because you abort the game plan and you just try to knock this other guy out or whatever the case may be. You get caught in a submission because you're throwing wild strikes in the ground and pound. So, yeah, definitely it affects the game plan. But yeah, all great fighters abort the game plan sometimes to get that finish. So yeah.
yeah, 100%, 100%. You also mentioned in your last interview with us about your about confidence and confidence building winning streaks. You know, how does winning by decision or split decision affect one's confidence? Someone in your situation or your position that coming after a tough fight like you did, how does that add to your confidence, knowing that now you've been really battle tested, and you now know that you can, if a fight heads into this direction again, you got the skill set to counter it. Does that improve your confidence, or do you not want to? You'd rather not be in wars like this again, and you just want to go in there, finish smooth, get the hell out of there.
So I don't mind being in a war again. It was quite fun. I figured out a lot about myself.
Mm,
A lot of confidence, like you said, building up in the fight. Each time I get hit and I didn't drop,
mm,
gave me confidence. Each time I landed a shot, gave me confidence. So the decision itself and the win doesn't really give me the confidence that a finish win would give you, but just the opponent that I faced and the shots that I took and that I didn't back down and I also went head to head with him, that gave me a lot of confidence because I
mm.
know he's a very tough opponent and I wasn't scared to bang and to trade with him. So that gave me a lot of confidence.
Fantastic, fantastic. For me, that fight is still ringing in my head. I remember it like yesterday. Like, I loved that fight so much. Like, that was my favorite fight of the night, and rightfully so. You both deserve that fight of the night bonus, because I felt like both of you
Awesome.
left it in the cage that night.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Yes,
Um,
yes. At least, yeah, we both got the fight of the night bonus, so that's great. Mm.
yeah,
So technically, not one of us lost. We both got some cash. So
you got
yeah, man.
you got something
Shout
good
out
out
to
of it.
M2 Biosciences.
Yeah,
Thanks for
man. Big
hooking
up
us
to
up
him
with
to
the
buy
bonus.
sciences. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I want to start this next question by saying fantastic and big happy birthday to your fiance. Hope she had a fantastic birthday weekend. Fun, lovely lady stood by your side. How has your fiance, helped you through a journey that's this tough to make it to the octagon? Because again, you gave big thanks during your post fight interview to your fiance. How important is she to your journey and getting to the promised land?
Thanks, man. I'll definitely tell her that you wished her happy birthday. And
Sir.
yeah, so yes, very. I would say she's my main pillar. Um, there's a lot of girls and wives and people that doesn't really like the sport and try to keep their husbands and boyfriends away from her. They don't want them to get hurt. But she has been fully supportive and behind my back since day one. And she's just the main motivation, like every time I feel down or talk negative about myself or whatever, she would be there to pick me up and and instill that confidence into me. And on fight day, she keeps me calm. She reminds me on what I should focus on and not to focus on the opponent too much and just calm down because I am good and I am great. And yeah, so definitely wouldn't be able to do this without her. She's definitely my number one supporter and my number one confidence builder, you know. So yes, she is a major pillar in my journey.
Fantastic, fantastic, and long may it continue. Long may it continue. Um,
Thank you.
I'm gonna shift gears a little bit. We've seen a lot of movement in the elite part of the UFC right now. And one of your guys, shout out to Dricus, was in your corner during your fight. He now has a fight with Darren Till.
Yes.
The fight's been scheduled. We all know about it. And another one of your guys from your gym is been a part of our show, Cameron Saaiman, MSP. Shout out to him. He's doing big things right now on YouTube. Go and follow it, people. Go and check it out. Go and subscribe to his channel. He's doing massive things on there. Big up to Cameron Saaiman on his show. And he's fighting Ronnie Lawrence. How do you see those guys, which are your family, your gym family, your fight family, your brothers in arms? How do you see them going out and putting their opponents away? How do you see it panning out?
Man, they are going to obliterate them, man. It's going to be insane. I can't wait. They are both on the same card. It's just awesome for the team, for the country. Um, Dricus fighting Darren Till, big name, top 10 guy, and but Dricus will definitely take his spot in the top 10 and work his way up towards the title. I've no doubt about that. He always works hard. Um, Cameron, same thing, man. You can't get that much talent
Mm.
and compare it with that much hard work. You know, they both
Such a
are the
young age
hardest
as well.
workers in the room. Say again?
I said at such a young age as well.
Exactly. And the thing is, they don't get tired to train. You know, they put in their sessions no matter what or where they are. They put it in, and they are reaping the fruits, man. Hard work pays off, and everyone will see December. Both of them will win their fights. Both of them will finish their fights, and they will put our country on the map once again. And both of them will do great things. Both of them will go on to be champs. I'm so excited for their journey. It's insane. They are both in the UFC. It's
Um,
just unreal, man.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, and it's so good. This is a big thing for South Africa as a nation. This is a big thing for Africa as a continent, especially in the climate where we're starting to hear, and the rumors of UFC Africa is getting stronger and stronger. We need everybody from everywhere really putting in the work while they're over there in the UFC. Everybody that's from the continent of Africa, because UFC Africa, I believe, is going to be a big thing if they
Yeah,
eventually
for
bring it
sure.
over. It's definitely overdue, and South Africa as a nation, in my opinion, have the biggest MMA facilities to get UFC Africa rolling, to get it on board. And then from
Yes.
there, it can then make regular visits back to Africa and visit other nations. But for me, South Africa has got to be the first stop. That's how I
Yeah,
feel,
for sure.
because you
For
know
sure.
everything is equipped for UFC Africa to really jump off if they bring it to South Africa. You agree?
Definitely, man. 100%. Can't wait for them to come here. It's gonna be sold out.
I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait. I think all of us, everybody that has some kind of tie to Africa is just waiting for this moment to happen. Let me ask you about the UFC 280 that we've just seen
Definitely.
with Islam and Charles Oliveira. Um, the main event. How impressed was you to see Islam go into Charles Oliveira's home and just burglarize it and took a piece in in his home. I'm talking his homo jiu-jitsu. That, you know what I mean? If you get what I'm trying to say, his homo
Yes.
jiu-jitsu. Please tell me how you
Yes,
felt
yes.
after seeing what you saw over the weekend.
Man, I was I was many words because I was set on Oliveira is gonna win because we all knew Islam was his game plan was to take him to the ground and to maul him. And I just thought that if he takes him to the ground, he's definitely gonna submit him. That's Oliveira's home, man. You can't play with him on the ground. And Islam just proved everyone wrong, and that was amazing to see. I was really, really impressed. Like I said, we all knew that Islam's game plan was to take him to the ground. So I was just rooting for Oliveira from the start. Islam's going to take him down. Oliveira's going to put on the props to Islam, man. That was really a great fight. I was really impressed by the performance. And as well, he dropped Oliveira and then he went for the finish. And that was really great.
One more question, couple more questions I want to ask you before we get you out of here. And thank you so much for your time. You've always been great with us. You know what I mean? We
Awesome.
have a great relationship, and I appreciate your time today. The question I wanted to ask you was about the co-main event and you as a pro, and tell me how you feel about this, because I've seen a lot of opinions on it, but I want to get your perspective. So Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw, both of them get scheduled. We saw what Aljamain did and put TJ Dillashaw away, battered him in the first and second round. I think the fight should have been stopped in the first, but anyway, they came out to the second and Aljamain got the job done. But that's not what the story is of this fight. The story coming into this fight was that TJ Dillashaw had an injury with his shoulder, and he's been popping out in training and did not let the promotion know. The promotion looked pissed when I saw Dana talking about it. It wasn't happy because they found out after the fact. You as a pro fighter, what's your take on opponent maybe hiding an injury that should have been disclosed to the doctors or to the promotion and not showing up with the best version of himself? How do you take something like that? Do you take it as a disrespect? Do you take it as, please tell me your perspective? I don't want to give you answers to the, I want your perspective on it. Please tell me what you make of it.
In my personal opinion, it's difficult because, yeah, like it was a title fight for sure. Definitely, you should have let them know. It's for the number one spot in the division, so you would be stupid to fight with a disadvantage. So that just only says one thing: DJ fought to get his purse. He didn't fight to win. He just fought to get paid. And yeah, I don't know. That's not a good thing to do because you can hurt yourself even more, and then how long to recover if you go into a fight like that? So definitely disclose it and let them make the call. If they are happy to let you fight, then you can fight. If they say no, get healed, go and get healed, man, because the sport is unforgiving and you can make a temporary injury a permanent injury if you don't look after yourself. So yeah, that's basically it.
100%. And the way that I saw it as well, I felt TJ not disclosing that injury definitely took the spot of maybe other fighters that could have been in better place, they're in better shape physically, to get in there and fight for the title. And he's robbed them of that chance to do that by not being, his best version of himself going into the octagon. And maybe say someone like Chito Vera in good shape, maybe he could have faced Sterling while TJ go and heal up. But like you said,
yes,
he
for
did it for the
sure.
money.
For sure, man. I totally agree with you on that.
What I wanted to ask you, this is the last question before we get you out of here. Is there any other passions that us, your fans, don't know about apart from MMA? What is it that you do outside of MMA that's really your passion? We want to know more about you, Jaco. What is outside of MMA that you love to do? that maybe your fans and our audience, people that fuck with you, should know about?
Okay, cool, man. So yeah, obviously fighting is way up there, but I'm a very big adrenaline junkie. So
Mm,
uh, I like doing crazy stuff, like maybe like bungee jumping, or all of the adrenaline rush, called Reef City with all of the rides. So I'm just chasing that adrenaline dump all the time. And
yeah.
then I like to read as well. I'm a
Okay.
very big reader, so I enjoy my books. And yeah, other than that, I just live for my friends, my family, my friends. I love to see and uh, get together with my friends, bri a little bit, throw some meat on the grill.
This is cool.
So yeah, I just enjoy. I try to enjoy life in all
Yeah, man.
aspects. So yeah,
Yeah, man. This is really cool. This is really really cool to know. Yeah, man. It's been great having you back on the show. You're always a fantastic guest. You know you always look after us with your time, and I got nothing but goodwill and big love for you, and what you do, what you represent, your gym, all of that stuff. And thank you so so much for your time and the entertainment that you give us, your fans. I really really appreciate that. Is there anyone, your gym, your sponsors, people you'd like to show appreciation to before we get you out of before we get you out of here?
yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I really enjoy it to be on your show. Thanks for the support, and thanks to everyone who's watching. I appreciate it. And then to the sponsors, yes, I'd like to give a small shout out to the Colony Insurers. They are one of my sponsors. I'd like to give a shout out to USN. And then my team, CIT Performance Institute. I love all of you, the Yard Athletic. And yeah,
And yeah, people, this has been Jaco Du Plessis. Is back on the show, and hopefully down the line, maybe before, hopefully when we have a fight announcement for you, um, you'll be fine. You'll be fine to come back. We'll be all right to bring you back.
yeah, for sure, man. I'd love to
Yeah.
come back.
Fantastic, fantastic. So hopefully when we get another uh fight update from you, would love to bring you back. It's always nice to have you on the show. You're always a fantastic guest, and yeah, I appreciate your time, man. And yeah,
Awesome. Thanks,
up,
man.
up until the next time. Hasta la vista, people. Salute.
Salute. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.